Are you caught in between making a choice and a decision to take and pass your certified associate project management test? Where if you're caught in between either making a choice or making a decision, you're definitely going to want to stay tuned because today's episode, when I tell you it's going to be one of those that you're going to want to save, you're going to want to like, you want to download so you can use for future references. I go by the name of ED for all you smart and intelligent folks out there. Listen, that just simply means Ed. This is the first video of this new year of 2024. So I'm super excited to drop this. And again, this is not going to be a short video. This is going to be one of those videos I am preparing to ensure that whoever wants to take a step up and take the challenge of taking the CAPM, this is what I would do. Today's episode is entitled The Untold Secrets, Top 10 Strategies If I Had to Start Over Again and Take the CAPM Test. You see, family, if you don't mind, I'd like to tell you a story. You see, I've shared this before through my journey as we were building this content out, and a lot of people won't come on here and be honest with you and transparent about when they take an exam as far as a PMI exam, because these exams are challenging. They do test your fortitude and they do test how bad do you really want it, because there are a lot of people say, oh, ED, I want to get my CAPM or I want to get my PMP, and you sit and have a conversation with them and you say, I don't know about that one. But I'm not here to judge. I'm just saying it's a different hunger when you say you're ready. It's a different hunger when you say, I'm tired of being sick and tired. I really want to help improve my career, and I know this CAPM exam or this PMP exam can help me. But today's episode, we're going to focus on the CAPM. And reason why we're focusing on the CAPM is because I've had some people reach out to me and ask me about the CAPM, about, hey, if you were to do it, if you were to take it, what would you do? And I was like, man, I've been putting this video off for a while because I've been focusing on some other things around project management. But I said at 2024, I bet you there are a lot of people out there that made it their New Year's resolution or one of their many New Year's resolutions to actually sit down and pass the CAPM exam. So I'm going to go through, normally, our family, I have an 8-point framework, but today, this is how great I'm feeling. I'm going to give you 10 of them, and it's already in the title. As you know, let's get to work so we all can eat here. First point, and this point right here, I don't know why I do. Cat Williams inspired me. But anyway, the reason why this point right here is so important, family, is because we missed this a lot of times. I missed it the first time I even took the CAPM exam, because the reason why is I was so caught up in some of the videos and content that I seen where they just tell you jump right in, go get study material, go do this, and it's like, but wait, we need to set the foundation. So point number one is establish expectations with friends and family. I'm gonna say that again because I know some people out there like, what? Establish expectation with friends and family. ED, what does that mean? I mean, that's cool and everything, but what does that mean? Listen, you need to set clear boundaries about your availability and your study times, because you need to explain to your family and friends and saying, hey, I made the decision to sit and pass this exam, and in order for me to do that, I may not be able to go out to every party or go to every function that you may want to go to. I can't go see Big Mama this weekend because I have to study for this exam this weekend because I work a full-time job, and after I get off of work, this is again my time to study, and so on the weekend is really when I have a full day that I can really dig in deep. So family, this point is so crucial and so important. It don't matter what I say after this, unless you get this done first. I told you these are going to be some strategies that you haven't even heard people talk about here before. But this one right here is one of them that most people don't discuss, of setting your boundaries of what your plan is as far as your availability and your study time. So family is not having an expectation like, oh, well, let me call up ED and see if you want to go out. No, don't call me. You know what I'm doing. I'm busy right now. We getting to work. let's move on to point number two. But before I move on to point number two, hey family, I really truly want to tell everybody, I meant to say this for 2023 as well, so I got to say it more because I am truly grateful for the new family members that have joined on, and even the existing ones that have shown me a lot of love, that's liked the videos, that have subscribed. And so if you haven't liked or subscribed the video, do that right now, because I'm telling you, 2024, we are not playing. We're coming for everybody who says they want to pass the CAPM exam. We're coming for everybody who say they want to pass the PMP exam. So you're going to see more content around that. Also, on top of all the content that I'm already doing. And by the way, working on a CAPM and a PMP study guide book to really assist you in your journey. So stay tuned for that. I'll give you more details as we continue to grow. Okay, let's enough of the promotions. Let's work. Point number two, I call this 2.0. So prioritize your well-being. Family, make sure, and I do mean this, make sure you're getting adequate enough of sleep. You're eating healthy, whatever eating healthy looks like to you. And you're incorporating relaxation and any type of stress management practices. For me, one of the things that I'm working on getting better at is practicing meditation. I find out that when I do practice meditation, it does help me focus better. It does help me calm me down a little bit, especially when it comes to test taking. I hate to be the one to admit it, but I know a lot, because a lot of people won't admit it. I've had challenges with test anxiety because I'm like, man, I wonder if I'm going to pass this. I wonder what happens if I don't. And I start thinking and I start developing all of these limited beliefs. And when you start developing these limited beliefs, which takes us into 2.1, which is basically the same thing, prioritizing your well-being, but I add in mindset. I picked up this tip from a YouTube channel which I follow called Inspired by Journey. I'm saying inspired. It was Inspired by Journeys with the Hintons. I hope I said their last name right, but amazing YouTube channels. I believe it's a couple that does that, but it's a really amazing channel. And I picked up something from them that really inspired me, and I was like, wow. Because normally what I would do in this case, I would have a big whiteboard or I would have some note cards, but the tip here is that phone that you probably spend a lot of time on and you pull out and everything. The screensaver on there. I would take the screensaver and I would create on my phone the four domains for which is in CAPM, and those four domains is project management fundamentals, which is 36%. This is exactly what I would have on my phone. Project management fundamentals is 36%. Predictive plan-based methodologies, I think it's 17%. Agile framework and methodologies is 20%, and then business analysis framework is 27%. And what I would do is I would have that on my screensaver. The reason why is I want to be able to look at that and be like, okay, the reason why I'm doing this is so I can beat these four domains and really have success. I would also have my favorite quote. I would have my favorite scripture on there. Things that would really motivate me to really say, it's basically you building a vision board on your phone as your screensaver in a sense. And being able to look at that every day. And the last thing I'll put on there too, family, is why am I doing this? Why am I taking this CAP exam? And I'll create a high level, no longer than maybe a sentence or two, but it would be really compact and concise of the reason why I'm actually taking this exam, so I can hold myself accountable and I know the reason why it's important for me to sit and pass this exam. Let's move on to point number three. Join a CAPM exam prep course. Listen, choose a course that works for you as far as, go do your homework, as they say. Go look at the reviews. What does the reviews look like on this course? Work with someone that's an experienced, and I'm gonna say instructor, as well as has been in the field, because they're sometimes, and you can, and sometimes you don't have to be in the field to teach this, meaning that you could have really, studied the material and you passed it and you've seen success and you created your own program. But most of the time, people who teach the PMP or CAPM exam, they've been in the field, because it's hard to be able to teach it in a sense if you haven't experienced that. So any teacher that I've ever learned from with regards to project management, they've had experience in the field. And then this is key too. I see a lot of people hesitate about, well, when should I take the exam? There's twofold here. First point is I would set my date of the date that I believe that I would want to take the exam. So we're in January right now. So if I said, okay, I'm going to give myself 4 months from today, and I'm going to take the exam on that day. Also, I would collaborate with my instructor and say, hey, this is the date I'm looking at taking it. And a great, or I should say, an exceptional instructor will work with you and say, okay, I know you said 4 months, but man, you are really having a lot of great success, and you're picking up the material fast, and you're really understanding. I'm looking at your scores from the exam, I mean, simulated exams. So you may want to push it up. Maybe you want to do 3 months instead of 4. But again, the whole approach is being able to collaborate with your instructor, as well as you picking a date out as well to say, okay, this is the date I really want to go with. And then once you connect with your instructor, make a firm decision, not a choice, a firm decision on on the date that you're going to choose, and then you just move forward. Let's just go and get it. Point number 4: master test taking techniques. Again, master test taking techniques. This is something that if I had to do it all over again, I would have worked in this area as well, because this is one of those, you know what I'm about to say, message type opportunities. First of all, practice time management and familiarize yourself with the exam pattern. That is going to be huge. That's going to be key. Also, know that there's going to be 150 questions on the exam, but that is the conjunction. You know where I'm going with this, family. There's going to be 15 pretest questions that it may kind of trip you up in a sense, because you're like, man, I don't remember this. Keep going, family. Keep going, because these 15 pretest questions are in place. You still need to move forward, and they're not going to count against you in your exam. So ensure that you are doing that you're prepared for that, because I don't want you to get off kilter if you can't understand what that question is. Also, this is another thing I didn't do. When I first took it, um, I did. They didn't offer this at that time, where basically the new CAPM exam, they're offering you, after you took your 75th question, you get the option to take a 10-minute break. So you need to make a decision like, hey, I'm going to take that break, or no, I'm not taking the break, and I'm going to move forward and going through the test. Now, it depends on the type of test taker you are. We can probably go in more depth at a later date. For me, I didn't want to take the test. Excuse me, I didn't want to take the break, because I felt like I didn't want to lose any momentum. So I kept moving forward. But for those that, you may want to, and again, looking back, it's like, but again, family, just make the decision. If you've already decided, hey, I'm going to take that 10-minute break, nothing wrong with it. That's great. That's awesome. Do it. But if you decided not to, then make that decision as well. So you already have a pre-game plan before you walk in there. Also, one of the things too, remain calm. Remain calm where you're going through the tutorial aspect of things. I know how bad you want to get started. You done put in all this time. You made all of these sacrifices, and now you got to sit through a tutorial. You want to pay attention to the tutorial. There's been a lot of different changes on the test, and so you want to make sure that you're aligned of what is at PMI is communicating to you. So take advantage of that, and then also you want to take the survey. Now, I do believe you can skip these now, but again, if you choose, again, putting together your game plan to say, okay, I'm going to sit through the tutorial, or I'm not. I'm going to go through take the survey, or I'm not. And the survey is at the end, which is, it's already nerve wracking. You want me to take a survey? Like, I need to know how I did. So again, family, make a decision if you're going to do either one of those. Let's move on to point number 5. Practice as many simulated exams as you can. One of the things that I did is I would regularly take full-length practice exam. I would set it up just like the test format, and I would sit there and say, okay, I'm gonna go through these questions. And I think that's another reason. Well, not I think I know that's another reason why it was easier. It was easier for me to not take that break because I have been practicing taking, taking the full length test, which allowed me to really pace myself to keep myself calm and stay more focused. Point number 6. I know I'm gonna get in trouble for this, so here we go. Because a lot of people won't tell you to do this, and at first I was against it, but I realized the value in doing this, and that is leverage multiple study resources. Now, let me be extremely clear what I mean multiple study resources. Use a mix of study guides, online resources, and interactive tools. One of my favorite apps that I use is Flashcard Hero. Reason why I love this is because if I'm sitting, let's say I'm at an appointment and I'm just sitting there waiting, I could pull that up and I could start practicing on terminologies. I could practice on just understanding the PMBOK and things like that. And it's really good. It's just basically just imagine just your flashcard, your physical flashcard, just into your phone. Also, I know this is overdoing it, but this is exceptionalism. If this is what you want, if you don't, again, I'm going to give you the information. You need to make the decision. I would also keep with me a thing of flashcards on me as well. So I would have the flashcard hero as well as a thing of flashcards on me just in case if for some odd reason, if something happened with the phone, I don't know, I know that's rare, but if something happened, that I always had a backup just in case. So again, this is just setting exceptionalism, and that's what we do here, and I know this is why you're here. Point number 7, develop a structured study plan. Hey, listen, I was guilty of this, so you can go ahead and judge me, and I'll accept the judgment. I didn't even read the CAPM exam content outline, and it has all the clues in there. And I was like, when my instructor set me down, shout out to Phil, it was like, hey, you need to read the CAPM exam content outline because that is a key aspect. I mean, then you can take that outline and break it down into manageable sections, and then you can set specific goals for each study session that you're going to have. Also, I would recommend using a planner app or digital calendar to keep track of your progress. And we're always keeping an agile mindset, being able to pivot and adapt. Maybe you're just having success in a particular area. You're like, okay, let me focus on another area where I'm struggling at, put a lot of energy in that, and still maintaining both at the same time. Point number 8, focus on learning from mistakes. Listen, family, what you want to ensure that you really review incorrect answers and get a detailed, say what I said, detailed grasp of the concept. See, I had got to a point where I started memorizing things, which is nothing wrong with it, but it is something wrong with it. What do you mean? You're contradicting yourself. I'm so glad you're paying attention. What I'm saying here, family, is that if you get in a framework, or I should say in a mindset, excuse me, of memorizing instead of learning the concept, is going to help you when you sit down and pass the exam. That's why I say don't memorize, learn. And I'll say it again, don't memorize, learn. The better you're able to learn it, the easier you're going to be able to pick up on the concepts. Point number 9, stay informed about the exam logistics. I'm laughing because it's funny, but it's not funny. So, real quick short story. I'll make it really quick. I didn't pay attention to the exam logistics. I was like, well, I'll just put it in my phone and I'll get there. Well, what I didn't prepare for and I didn't realize is that I probably need to make sure I'm paying attention to what when my test is. I took mine early in the morning because I was like, well, yeah, I'm gonna beat traffic and things, and I'm just thinking all these things. Like I'm gonna beat traffic and everything like that. If I get uh, to the center to be able to test, I won't even have to worry about that. But also, you want to make sure you're checking in on the PMI updates. PMI.org is going to be your key as well to understand if there's any changes within the exam location, if there's anything that you need to be prepared for before you go into the exam, and understanding too that when you get ready to walk in the exam, you have to empty everything out your pockets and put it up in this nice little cute locker, and you get wanded down. So prepare yourself for that. I know I talked about logistics, but it's important about the logistics when you walk into the place, because you may get really tensed up because you're not prepared for having to get worn down and having to empty everything out your pocket, because they always say it only takes one bad apple to spoil the bunch, and so somebody spoiled it, and that's why they take the measures. That's why I love PMI so much when it comes to that aspect of ensuring that the integrity of the exam still is being able to hold. Also, I'm going to recommend this as well. Create you a checklist of the things you're going to do on the exam day, including like your preparation and again your travel to the actual location. This is the last and final point, point number 10. You want to make sure you strengthen your understanding of project management terms. Again, creating a glossary of key terms and reviewing it frequently. Sometimes what I would do is with the glossary, I would put it into interpretation that would allow me to understand it, but still aligned with PMI's definition of the particular within the glossary, because it's important. Again, remember what I said. Don't memorize, learn. So by really teaching myself along with my instructor of learning these key concepts and understanding how things work allowed me to have a better success than I had than the first time. So anyway, family, I truly hope this helps someone. It's really important. I mean, I'm thinking about doing a PMP version of this. So if you want me to do a PMP version of this, hey, leave a comment, ping me on IG or anything like that. But you know how to find me, family. I will create matter of fact, I'm going to create a PMP version of this. And if you want me to go in depth, meaning like putting together a plan of exactly how my day will look over a period of time. Let's say I said I'm going to take the exam in 4 months. What would that look like week over week? Let me know. I can do something for you like that as well. Because my goal, my job here is to always over deliver, give you as much information as possible, but make sure that the information is concise enough that allows you to have the success that you need to have, and to minimize any distractions or any noise that may try to come in your way. This has been your boy D. Until next time, you know what I do. I'm out.